Trigger warning. Bigotry, profanity, cancel culture. If these topics trigger you, don't watch this video. Viewer discretion is advised. Everyone knows J.K. Rowling, right? The inventor of a Sigma rolling grind set. Step 1. Become rich and famous by writing kids' books. Step 2. Retroactively add diversity to poorly appease liberals. Step 3. Support transphobes. Step 4. Write a shit ton of transphobic material ruining the career you built. Step 5. Side with conservatives and whine about being cancelled when you are the one who decided to ruin your career. And step 6. Refuse to elaborate. That's a Sigma rolling grind set for ya. With Rowling, the most recent BS thing she did was to write the 6th book in the Cormorant Strike series, the Blackheart, under the pen name Robert Galbraith, which is the inventor of conversion therapy. Let's look into which is the name of the inventor of conversion therapy, by the way. Let's look into how it is another step on the downward spiral from beloved children's author to big did sell out. The Blackheart is about an online animator who's more or less a cringy self-insert of J.K. Rowling herself. The source of the name of the book is the YouTube cartoon featured in the book of the same name, made by Rowling stand Eddie Ledwell. Eddie ends up under fire with her fans becoming haters when they notice or believe to notice. According to Rowling's victim complex, transphobic, racist, ableist, and fatphobic themes in the Blackheart, they begin hurling threats and insults at Ledwell before murdering her. Yes, it's a hyperbolic retelling of Rowling's cancellation. I'm not going to condone cancel culture, nor am I going to defend Rowling, because I'm against both. Cancel culture is not the way we get the rich and powerful to stop with their bullshit behavior because of a salient bias or the tendency to focus more on extremes and moderates. To Rowling, it's not the vast majority of tweets criticizing her that remain civil that represents the movement against her. It's a hyperbolic, rage-fueled tweets that represent all her critics, when in actuality, they only represent a small portion of her critics. Ripping at people's rage isn't going to make them back down. You'll just end up making everybody who criticizes the person you attack look bad in the eyes and validate the feelings of victimhood. It seems that humans are pre-programmed to have a positive outlook on themselves, seeing their actions as right and just, that they can do no wrong, and that whenever something bad happens to them, they've been victimized. I'm not saying that all the former fans of Rowling and their works don't have a right to be angry, feel hurt. Those emotions are human, and they are okay to feel. What is unacceptable is sending death threats to a public figure because that makes you look like a crazy person. As a former Potterhead, I do feel hurt and betrayed by Rowling's conservative true colors coming to light. To be honest, hindsight is 2020. As while Harry Potter seems to have a message of bigotry is bad, that is only surface level, and the books are pretty fucking bigoted. First off, there's no nuance. It's all black and white in its messaging. That would be acceptable for children, as they tend not to have a capacity to think in terms of an absolutes, but it is not a mindset you want to keep into adulthood. The books are designed to grow the characters and audience, but that's impossible without exploring more nuance. Like perhaps Voldemort has an internal logic that justifies the hatred of Muggles, because IRL the Nazis didn't think that they were against love and friendship. They thought they were to defend the family from a Jewish taint. People aren't evil and hateful just because they are. They need some sort of logic to justify their hatred, no matter how utterly detached from reality it is. Second off, there's the way certain characters are described, which is rife with body shaming and other hateful messages. While death threats have been sent at Rowling IRL and those are not acceptable, no matter how justifiable your rage at her is, I'm sure that she hasn't been murdered by a disillusioned fan. At least not yet. I'm not saying that we should kill her or anything. That's taking things too far. The next question is the Blackheart actually readable? The book is terrible, not just because it's Rowling whining about being cancelled. Like, woman, you live in a fucking castle for crying out loud. But it goes on for over 1,000 pages, and their entire pages dedicated to fictional Twitter threads, which she most likely made by going through her Twitter mentions, find the most over-the-top hateful tweets about her, changing the usernames to fictional people, and put them in the book. Heck, even tweets that are slightly critical of her, they're fair game for her to use. She has no problem doxing trans women, but as soon as her castle, a very publicly known location, appears anywhere around trans inclusive spaces, she's quick to whip out that victim card of hers. Of course, she is totally okay with using the actual names of the people who dared attack/criticize her in order to stick her in their circle of outright trolls on them, but at least we could give her the benefit of a doubt that in this book she used made up names for them. The use of internet slang on it is clearly Rowling having another middle-aged moment and trying to cling to whatever relevancy she still has. The format of those threads make reading an ebook of this even more of an offensive eyesore than it already is. To understand her downward spiral, we need to understand where it started. While I'm more than eager to bash Harry Potter for having simplistic morals, hateful characterizations, and having aged like milk, or the fact that hindsight is 2020, let's look at how Rowling ended up digging her own proverbial grave. After she finished writing the Harry Potter series in 2007 with the seventh and final book, The Deathly Hallows, if Rowling didn't say anything after that, her legacy would have been saved, or at least it would last longer. First, Rowling revealed that Dumbledore was gay, which seemed progressive and groundbreaking at the time, but she revealed it after she was done writing, and there's little evidence that Dumbledore was gay in the books themselves, so her mask of progressiveness that didn't crack. She kept retconning the books as well as adding more claims and shoving diversity up the ass end of them. Rowling's mask started to slip in December of 2019 when she tweeted in support of Maya Forstater, whose contract wasn't renewed for transphobic behavior. That led to trans and trans-affirming fans who used to see her as an ally, who used to look up to her, to lash out in anger, and transphobes, either open conservatives or conservatives in liberal clothing, to begin love-bombing her. And it is simple human psychology that we're more willing to listen to compliments than criticisms, which led Rowling deeper and deeper into the bigot rabbit hole until the mask was off. Now all Rowling does is spew hatred, whine about being called out for spewing hatred, and show that her ability to write good and compelling media has run dry. It's utterly embarrassing to see her having gone to that low, having gone from beloved author to butthurt transphobe. If I were to suggest something that you should watch instead that's like Harry Potter but better in every way, including how it handles representation, who wrote it, look no further than the Disney series The Owl House. The diversity is genuine instead of having an author that retcons in diversity like they're writing a bad fanfic, and the POC characters don't have names and vibes that feel like minstrel show escapees. The discourse on serious themes such as bigotry and disability is nuanced, and even its version of Lord Voldemort has a very clearly defined internal logic to justify his actions, and we could see, or at least infer, where it came from. The direction the story is going is that the magical mundane worlds should be bridged, as in hindsight, Harry Potter insisting that the magical mundane worlds should be segregated is a red flag. Guess when you look at a person and the works they make in rose-tinted glasses, red flags just look like flags. Heck, the Owl House even pokes fun at Harry Potter every now and then, with a Golden Snitch parody being pointed out the decentralized gameplay too much. It makes all the other players redundant, and the Thorn Hat have the taste for the heads of children, and that the wands are only for training, and the coven system is clearly flawed and the result of an imperialist using it to gain maintain power before murdering millions, all in the guise of the right way to do magic. Heck, if J.K. Rowling tried to make it big by writing Harry Potter in 2022 instead of writing it in the 90s, it'd be lauded as a mockbuster of the Owl House made by the Daily Wire. Some of the ideas from the Ink Black Heart are salvageable though, And I'm saying that about a deranged rant of a book written on the sense of entitlement with an ink of prejudice. NGL, we need more mainstream media that deals with cancel culture and how it uses accountability to excuse abusive behavior that's just as bad as, if not worse than, that of the accused. But no, it's a result of a once beloved author having their ego built up by success and the people her beliefs appeal to until all of integrity she once had, or we thought she had, evaporates. We need to hold powerful people who abuse their power accountable, but sending threats of violence of any form, acting on those threats, and hurling crude insults and slurs is not the way. Letting the public know the skeletons in the closet of a rich and powerful is what we need to do, but refuse to forgive no matter how sincere the apology, and treat even minor offenses made years and years ago as excuse to blacklist people is not okay. There's a difference between being just and being vindictive. I'm not saying that we turn a blind eye whenever a wealthy and powerful person abuses their power, nor am I saying that we slash their tires in their throats. What I'm saying is that cancel culture brings up this quote by Friedrich Nietzsche. He who fights monsters must take care lest he thereby become a monster. And if you gaze into the abyss for too long, the abyss gazes back. Cancel culture is that. Want to stop powerful figureheads from spreading bigoted ideals is noble, but there's no nobility in shrieking rabidly online. Being hateful and cruel will just mean that there's more hate and cruelty to go around. So we need to be firm but compassionate. And by now, Rowling's base isn't growing anytime soon. Only hardcore transphobes like her, and even then, just because she believes what they do. Not that she's a good writer. Well, she probably used to be, but lost her talent. And yeah, the point is that the bigots care about her for being a public figure and being bigoted, not because of how well and concise she can write. I'm going to tell you that I faced online harassment on multiple occasions. As tempting as it was to fire back, I knew I risked demoralizing myself, so I did the responsible thing and block people who wouldn't listen to anything that doesn't confirm their biases. However, I will say that people who partake in online harassment need to be held accountable for what they say as long as we don't stoop to their level. Whenever dealing with an online bigot, I like to poke at them while remaining reasonable until they go completely mask off and say something horrific and indefensible. And then I block, having proof that they shouldn't be given benefit of a doubt. I will tell you this, something I learned from personal experience. People like Rowling are arrogant. Reasoning with them is a lost cause as they are too blind to their hypocrisy to ever think of self-reflection. And that's all I have to say about JK Rowling, hopefully for good. I will have to go back in case she caused another major outrage. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video and keep the comment section civil. Tyson out.